and Harry aren't all bad, are they? A lot of people get a little confused about this, particularly Sussex supporters or people who just loosely follow this stuff and are like, why do everybody hate Harry and Meghan? Why are there so many people who dislike Harry and Meghan and they don't understand? But especially from Sussex supporters, people just don't quite get it. I think a lot of people who dislike Harry and Meghan or critics of Harry and Meghan are in the camp, I'd say the vast majority are in the camp who don't particularly passionately hate Harry and Meghan at all. It's a very different thing. It's not that they don't like Harry and Meghan because it's Harry and Meghan. And it's not that they think Harry and Meghan are all bad. Harry and Meghan do good things sometimes. They are, at least some of the time, doing the occasional nice thing for somebody. Granted, it's self-serving. Granted, there's a lot of communal narcissistic vibes going about these things. There's a lot of flying monkeys happening and all the rest. But still, at the end of the day, there are some good deeds being done. Also, they adopt pets. They have taken in rescue dogs many a time. That's a good thing. I am always for pets getting good homes where they can be happy and well taken care of and well looked after and run around and be merry. I'm always for that. And Harry and Meghan have done that a few times. Granted, one of their dogs did have an injury, but we do not know how that injury occurred. It could have been a normal accident. That was not Harry and Meghan's fault. Harry, maybe less so than Meghan in this department, because Harry has been known to not be kind to horses, which I find incredibly unforgivable. I absolutely love horses. They are majestic and beautiful, peaceful beasts that are just stunning, wonderful, beautiful creatures. So Harry being not nice to horses is a big problem. But Meghan, maybe, is the one who deserves credit for adopting the dogs and giving them good homes, okay? Good things being done are a positive, always. And even some of Harry and Meghan's opinions on things are ones that, on the surface, you could agree with. Being conscious of the environment is a good thing to do. Caring about human rights, good thing to do. Trying to help out children or caring about digital safety, on the surface, good things. No problems there. Just because Harry and Meghan do some things right and have done a few positive things doesn't mean everybody should just only cover them in a positive light, and it doesn't mean that people have to accept the rest of their shit. It's not a binary situation where if Harry and Meghan do a few good things, a few good deeds, then they are forever absolved of all their previous mistakes and wrongdoings. It's not like that. And it's also not true or fair or accurate to say that just because Harry and Meghan have made a ton of mistakes, we can't ever point out a positive or a good thing that they have done. I think the biggest problem for Harry and Meghan circles back to that hypocrisy. They say they care about safety in the digital age, and they release a pompous statement that they care about fact-checking. But Meghan has remained on Instagram and is leveraging it for her own financial gain, which subsequently gives Instagram money, gives Meta money. Because for anybody who has an Instagram account that is monetized in any way, shape, or form, they know that they're only getting a tiny fraction of the revenue as compared to what Meta is getting for the engagement and the being on their platform at all. Boosts their income, and you get a small sliver of that. Same goes for Meghan. While she's not necessarily making a fortune off her Instagram account, she is making money off of it and using it to her own financial gain to promote her business and other projects, etc., despite hypocritically criticizing social media use. And there's countless examples of this hypocrisy throughout Harry and Meghan's history in the public eye. Travelist and their eco-warrior stuff is a great example. Harry and Meghan were talking really big game about caring about carbon footprint and suggesting people maybe travel less or fly less or do staycations instead of travel further so that they can lower their carbon footprint while simultaneously taking private jets everywhere and racking up a massive carbon footprint. It's the hypocrisy at the end of the day that really grinds people's gears and deserves to be called out. And now more than ever before, the public is interested in calling out celebrities, famous people, public figures, even politicians to some extent, over their nonsense and their hypocrisy, and wanting people to be held accountable for saying one thing and doing another, or for doing bad things and then trying to move forward like it never happened. And part of that is because there is a climate within the famous people space, which is largely celebrities, let's be honest, where if they've made a mistake, they apologize, and then they go away for a while, and then they're allowed to move on. And there's lots of examples of celebrities who have done something weird or made somebody mad or uncomfortable or made mistakes, and they apologized and they took some time off, and then they're allowed to come back and the public accepts them. And this formula is a very delicate balance, and the public is not yet ready for people to skip any of those steps. And Harry and Meghan have been trying to skip over that whole apologize and take accountability step. So for those who maybe have forgotten, or those who maybe don't understand, it's important to remember that Harry and Meghan said over 30 lies about various people in their Oprah interview, followed it up with just as many, if not more, lies in their Netflix series, and then followed that up with even more lies in Spare and a number of interviews for Spare, and Meghan in interviews for The Cut, and what was the other one? Vanity Fair? I don't remember. Variety? She did 2 interviews for Archetypes promotion, and she said lies in both of them. And then on Archetypes, she left a lot of impressions and a lot of sort of nods to her faux complaints that weren't really very good complaints. Anyway, this series of lies and narratives that Harry and Meghan have pushed for so long, they have even abandoned at this point. For example, they asserted there was a lot of ist behaviors during Meghan's time as a working royal, and they sort of failed to identify anything specific that anybody could say was valid, and they also lied a lot in that interview. So people were really questioning that. Years later, Harry sort of redacted their position on it and said, no, we didn't mean that anybody was ist at all. That's not what we said. That's not what we meant. And so they've backpedaled on all of these assaults that they did. All of these lies and saying that everybody treated Meghan poorly and unfairly and the media was so bad and all of these things that just don't have evidence to back them up. All of these things that Meghan and Harry have said that then they undermined themselves and there was no evidence and whatnot. All of that was so sensationalized in the media because of the potential that there was some ist treatment of the Meg during her time as a working royal. That story ran away with them, from them, evidently, because now they're like backtracking on it all. But all of that was so sensationalized that it boosted Harry and Meghan's name just in general. The number of times that their name appeared in various media skyrocketed because they chose to accuse people of such sensationalist and extreme behaviors, regardless of it not being true. What I'm trying to say is that Harry and Meghan's level of fame, if you could call it that, it's infamy, really, if we're being honest. But their level of notoriety, their name was elevated to this level simply because they spread misinformation and lies about people. And because of that, now they are in a position to where they can make a lot of gains from it. Financial gains, business dealings, etc. They were afforded opportunities that people who have worked for decades didn't get. Basically, they were afforded huge Netflix deals that they didn't deserve, that other people who were career producers or show writers, people who had made careers out of show business stuff, didn't get such cushy deals. All because Harry and Meghan elevated their names through lies and manipulations, mistruths, conveniently leaving out truths. And that's what really doesn't sit right with people, that they've manipulated themselves into this catapulted position where their names are well known enough that they can sort of ride on that. And they're just hoping that the public forgets about all the shitty ways that they got there and all the rude things that they have done and the absolute torment that they caused the royal family, specific journalists, people in their past who knew them in real life have been thrown under the bus rather violently so that they could achieve this status to be able to try to launch a career as a Netflix show host, I guess. My, how they have fallen. Going from the royal family, a rather noble existence in terms of trying to do good for culture and society and people and animals, environment, etc., getting to focus on actually doing good with a platform to die for, and getting to have quite a bit of luxury to boot. They traded that in for this, and they scratched and clawed their way into the position that they're in through nefarious means and through manipulation. And that's what really doesn't sit right with people. It's not that it's just Harry and Meghan and we're annoyed with them. It's not just that they seem like incredible narcissists. It's not just that they're annoying as all get out and can't seem to figure out how to get anything right. It's not just that. And it's definitely not just plain dislike that's really vague. No, it's that sometimes when a celebrity has done something like this, or a public figure has done something like this, and they're not apologizing, and they want you to just accept what they're showing you now, the public says, no, not so fast. But what do you think? I look forward to your discussion in the comments. Thank you so much for joining me for today's video, and I will see you next time. Have a happy day, everybody. Bye.